Hey, my name is Anastasia Mercer, and this is my final video essay for the course Ethics in Information Society taught by Dr. Strangelove. This video will consist of my reflections on the course text A Dangerous Master by Wendell Wallach. I will also be talking about what I learned about overall ethics and information in society and what it means to me. Alright, so firstly, the book wasn't exactly a page turner, and it was pretty repetitive. Gave off sort of a doomsday, end of the world vibe. I genuinely came out of this book with more questions than answers about the future of our society within ethical and technological informational side of things. I went through my weekly reading assignments for the book and found some questions and curious things about them. So firstly, I would like to look at Chapter 5. Chapter 5 begins by discussing technological advances that are designed to stop or postpone global warming effects or climate change effects. There are forms of geoengineering that try to manage global climate change through two broad approaches, which are solar radiation management and carbon dioxide removal. So basically, this is saying that meeting world energy needs conflicts with harming the earth tremendously. According to Wallach, the oil and fracking that contributes to greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. But whose call is it really to stop this from happening? Page 94 says that we will continue to be confronted with bad choices and unsatisfactory trade-offs. I completely agree with this statement because it's obviously true that the Earth is dying and these factors are contributing to it, but it's inevitable that we will all keep living the same wasteful lives. We all produce so much garbage and there are so many inefficiencies. The corporate and consumerist world in which we live has developed in a way that shows waste as a normal thing, but it's a severe consequence that we can't really see. I'm gonna go make some KD because I'm hungry. Chapter 7 is the next chapter that I'm going to be talking about. This chapter is called The Mastery of the Human Genome. Technological routes to immortality is a concept addressed in this chapter that discusses the means of increasing life expectancy. However, there are many negative effects to this. Mind clones is a part of this chapter that explains that the goal is progressing humanity by such a means of better health and improved quality of life. On page 143, it says that rather than increasing life expectancy as a priority, the author mentions he would rather first improve the quality of life for all humans on the planet. I agree with this statement in the sense that just because things may be technologically possible doesn't mean that they should happen, and the priorities especially of the use of technology are higher in certain aspects of life and others, like improving life expectancy is not at a top priority right now. Rather, there are people dying every day because they don't have enough food, so let's improve the quality of life for all humans in general and just have a better world first before we focus on having people live longer, because that's not the priority. The last chapter that I want to talk about is chapter 12, called Terminating the Terminator. There's an argument made in this chapter that the future machines will have the capacity for discrimination and will be more moral than human soldiers themselves. However, delegating life and death decisions to machines is immoral because they cannot be held responsible for their actions. It is unsure where robotic technology will lead. Will we be able to trust that their actions are safe and appropriate? Drawing a red line in this chapter refers to limiting the kinds of decisions that computers can make in combat that reinforces the principle that humans are responsible for going to war and for harming each other. The question that arose in this chapter is, do we want robotic cars making decisions about whether we live or die? Who is held responsible when this occurs? This was talked about in class because is the machine that's driving, and wouldn't this cause major lawsuits for car companies because the cars only do so much and at the end of the day we're still in control? But it's kind of scary that we're considering giving this much power to technology over us. So what the overall course and book have taught me combined, it is hard to manage ethics no matter what in life, but it is especially hard how we are being constantly pervaded with new information. I guess you could say that I'm someone who is particularly interested in ethics because I think it is really relevant in the future job that I want. After I graduate at the end of April, I want to go into a career, hopefully, of human resource management. Of course, that is a huge job with ethical shitstorms. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Strangelove, especially for provoking some ethical considerations into my own head, and I hoped to provoke some ethical considerations in this video as well. I don't know if they stood out or not, but I hope you like this video, and thanks for such a good course.